What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Wednesday, June 25th. Happy hump day. Hope you're doing well. And by popular request, we're going to take a look at Virgin Galactic, specifically SPCE stock. We're going to take a look at the price chart, what to expect in terms of the technicals and the price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on that. But again, it's just my own thoughts and opinions, my own analysis. And this isn't what I want to happen. This is what the charts are saying. And again, do not take it as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And spoiler alert, we could see another 15% drop from here. So again, we'll bring up the price chart in just a moment. Before we do, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell to be notified anytime I post new content or when I go live. And full disclosure, I do own a very small position in SPCE stock as well. You can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. I did add a bunch of the SPCE alerts to the POW Algo service. So essentially we have about 20 custom indicators now, and we should see some fire off here soon. Unfortunately, there's looking like some bearish POW Algo alerts could be firing off soon. And like I said, adding more confluence to the fact that we could see more downside from here. And I know it's been brutal. We were just at $6 not too long ago. But that's what happens with these very speculative stocks. We see huge price swings to the upside, short squeezes, and then usually give it all back. That's basically where we're at right now, and we have bear flags galore at the moment. If you take a look at the hourly time frame, if we just grab our fib tool and we go from the high to the low, you can see here on this low, very weak bounce, didn't get above the 0.32 fib, so we needed to get above 296. We failed to do that, and then once we came down and lost 293, that confirmed the hourly bear flag. And then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and you got a target of 287. So we're basically a triple bottom right now at 290. So in terms of percentage away, we're about 1.1% away on the hourly time frame. But then we have to zoom out and look at the daily, and it's very reminiscent of the hourly time frame. If we look at the daily time frame, it's also a bear flag. So if we go from our high to the low here, very weak bounce. Actually, that was the weekly bear flag that I was looking at. Let me redraw this. So that's not good. That's not a good setup either. So hourly, daily, and weekly. There we go. That's what it was here. So if we go from the high to the low, you can see here it was a very weak bounce, and we didn't get above the 0.32 fib. So the level to break here was 324. We failed to do that. And then once we came and lost past 290, that confirmed the bear flags. We just take our measured move there again, just like we did on the hourly time frame. We adjusted out to the 0.32 fib, and it's saying our target is 247. So that's why I said from current levels we could see about another just under 15%, about 14.85% of downside from the current levels. So I know it's not what people want to hear, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And we'll see. Like I said, we've got a bunch of POW Algo alerts for SPCE configured. Like I said, we have about 20 total. There's not that many enabled right now on SPCE. I'm constantly working on the POW Algo service. Right now, I think we have about half a dozen, and I'll continue to add to that. But eventually, these algo alerts will probably fire off a couple more bearish ones, and then we'll get more bullish indicators, patterns, signals all firing off. So it's just a ebb and flow kind of wait and be patient game, right? Nothing goes in a straight line forever, either direction, up or down. And case in point, just look at this massive short squeeze that we saw. And we essentially gave the whole move back to this point, right before the short squeeze really saw a breakout. Now we're back to those pre-breakout levels. Something that we could see as well is a triple thunder bearish crossover on the weekly time frame. So essentially this is a new indicator that I created on SPCE stock and a lot of different stocks as well. And we'll just go and bring it up here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when we have a bullish and bearish triple thunder crossover, what it is it's a proprietary algo indicator that I created. When the MACD and the stochastic cross bullish on the weekly time frame, and we see it close over the 10-week moving average, you get a bullish triple thunder crossover. And you can see here this occurred when the weekly candle closed at 307. We had a huge buy alert go off there, and we hit a high of 664. Now we're looking at a potential bearish triple thunder crossover, just like back here. The price closed at 437. That's when it fired off. And then we saw about 50% of downside. So if we take a look at in terms of percentage, the last time we had a bullish triple thunder crossover, we saw about 107% of upside from there. So now we're close to seeing another triple thunder bearish crossover, which again adds more confluence to the fact that we could be back down to around that 247 level in the not too distant future. So you can see here the stochastic already crossed bearish. We lost the 10-week moving average, and really any time now that MACD could cross bearish as well. So triple thunder crossover, bearish triple thunder crossover is on deck here. And like I said, if you subscribe to the algo service, you'll get a notification in the Power Group private community if you're in there. But if you're not, you'll also get it via email. We topped out right at the 50 weekly moving average as well in a huge upper wick and rejection. So as we know, we've been rejecting here. There's been 3 times since we lost it as support. So you can see here that it was acting as support, support, support. Came back down. We lost it, resistance, resistance. Got pretty close to it that time. This right on the money again, resistance. So now what we need to see is 2, preferably 3 candle closes on the weekly time frame above that 50-week moving average there at about $5.14. If we can get 2, preferably 3 candle closes, we're more than likely heading back up to our 100 to test that as resistance, and that's all the way up at 1945. So that could happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, news can change it, but I'm not really expecting much in terms of this until, maybe the last quarter of the year, so Q4 2025 or the beginning part of 2026 once they start sales. If we take a look at the daily time frame here, it's a while away before we see a golden cross with the 50 crossing the 200 as well. So again, we topped out pretty much right at the 200-day moving average. We got above it, but huge upper wicks, and you can see we closed both times below it. And we came back to the 50-day moving average, tried to confirm it as support. We were sandwiched in between the 50-day and the 100-day, and ultimately broke down again, and it's just been acting as resistance. So pretty bearish, pretty weak. Nothing really bullish about this chart at the moment. Still well below all of our daily, still well below all of our weekly moving averages. So like I said, there's definitely a lot more bearish signals on the chart at the moment, unfortunately. I know it's been rough. There's a lot more people that are down a lot more than me. It's really like an MJ chart, right? You're home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. So it's nothing that we're not familiar with, right? We're no stranger to this type of kind of bloodbath. It's not an MJ stock though, mind you, but it's a very speculative stock. And again, they're not really making any money yet. So this is something, a very long-term play. And if you look at the all-time high to the all-time low, it was down 99.8%, right? So complete wealth destruction. I know it's been rough for a lot of people, but if this is a company that you're bullish on, then it's going to be at least a couple years out, maybe even longer, right? This is probably a 5 to 10 year play. And this is why you don't want to give in to all of the hype as well in the early days, right? Back here when the stock's at, have to factor in the 1 for 20 reverse split. But when the stock's back here at all-time high and you're looking at multiple years before we even see, any real revenue being generated, well, you have to kind of take that into account as well. But I know it's been brutal. Personally, I'm just nibbling a small amount. I don't have a lot of money into this one. I think I've got close to about $1,500. I won't be investing any more than say probably $2,000, maybe $3,000 will be my cap. I might look to add maybe 1 or 2 more times. And like I said, this is zero or hero for me, right? I'm not here to make 100% or 200% on this thing. I was already up. My average, I think, is around 350 last time I checked. And then we were up at around 664. So, I was up, hundreds of percent, and I was doing quite well on that position. But again, I'm not here. Before I entered that trade, I had a plan, and I wasn't here for 100%, 200%, 300%. I'm holding it long term. And like I said, it's zero or hero for me. I'm totally okay if this thing goes to zero and I lose all my money because I didn't invest any more than I was willing to lose. And that was my goal from the get-go, from the jump, right? I'm not looking for 200, 300% gains. I'm looking at like a, potentially a 25 to 50x from here, which basically would mean $1,000 investment into $25,000 or $50,000. And who knows, maybe even 100x is possible, but I might start to scale out closer to that 25x return. And then, you can add, just like when you're buying, you dollar cost average, you can dollar cost sell as well. So you can, sell a little bit at, maybe $10, take out your initial investment, take out another chunk at $25, take another chunk out at 50, 75, 100, right? So have your game plan established. And like I said, don't be making decisions on the fly because that's generally how you get wrecked. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. Like I said, it's bear flag galore at the moment and could see about another 15% drop from here. But I'll be looking to add 1 more, potentially 2 more times to my SPCE bag. But again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. That's just what I'm doing. All right, have a great day. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next one.